Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday, wherever you are. This is your host, Skyman, the tallest man in Black Africa. The 10-member National Dialogue Committee at the Bomas of Kenya heads to Nakuru for a retreat. They are going for a retreat because they have agreed on a number of issues, almost everything. But there is one item, one agenda that is very, very interesting. When I realized that they have agreed, I realized that there's one issue that is going to create headache to this country. They agreed that they are going to audit the 2022 general elections, but not only for the president, but for all elective posts, for all elective positions, especially the members of parliament, senators, and the governors and the women rep. This is very, very interesting. What is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Because the funny thing about it, it is UDA that gave this proposal. You know, Azmir was only interested with auditing of the presidential results. But now, it looks like a UDA is also very, very much interested with the audit of these results. And, you know, I understand that Azmir was a bit reluctant when it realized that UDA wanted other positions to be audited. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? At this juncture, what do you think? Should we go ahead and audit all these positions? If you ask me, it is a good thing for the country. It is healthy as far as democracy is concerned. This is a very positive development, if you ask me. Because I strongly believe that there are some people who are in parliament, others in senate, others are the county chiefs, but they did not win the elections. That is the truth of the matter. And, you know, usually, for instance, you may find that kuna mtu ambaye alichaguliwa, especially those people in the Rift Valley, in Mount Kenya, for instance, unapata kwa sababu, you know, like now, in Mount Kenya, there were no agents for Azimio. And who was checking the results? Kwa sababu tunaona kwamba kuna mahali ambapo tunasikia hata Wajakoya alikuwa anapigiwa kura, watu wanakasema walikuwa wanapigia kura Wajakoya. But now when it comes to announcement of the results, I mean, when you look at it, in those polling stations, Wajakoya did not get even a single vote. Lakini unasikia kuna watu walisema mimi nipigie Wajakoya, lakini hizo kura zienda wapi? And the big question now is what is going to happen if the audit is carried out and it is discovered. Like, for example, this is just an example, that Jeremiah Kioni won the elections in Daragwa. And although they were agents in Daragwa, I understand that they agreed, and somebody was telling me that Daragwa was won fairly and squarely. And there are some places, I'm saying like now, let's take that example of Jeremiah Kioni of Daragwa. Suppose he won the elections, what is going to happen? And suppose, say like now, Anne Waiguru or Anyang' Nyong'o did not win the elections, what is likely to happen? What if, now the elephant in the room, that it is discovered that William Samoei Ruto did not win the elections? Are we not going to have a crisis in this country? And one thing I know, and this is where nani wanaenda mbele ya Azimio, UDA, hapo ndipo ambao wanajua vizuri sana, even if it is discovered, for instance, that Raila won the elections. Where will Raila go? Unless William Samoei Ruto decides to resign. Hakuna mahali ambapo Azimio wataenda, kwa sababu hawezi kwenda kotini. Wakienda kotini, the that actually said clearly that William Samoei Ruto won the election. And remember the language that he used. So do you expect the same court? Sasa waende pale waseme kwamba Raila won the elections. But I understand, I was consulting a lawyer, a friend of mine, I don't know how true it is, but was telling me that the court can rescind a decision that it had made earlier. depending on new evidence. If this happens, then this will be new evidence. Then it means that Raila Amolo Odinga would be declared the President of the Republic of Kenya by the Supreme Court. And what would happen? I can tell you, if Raila is declared the President of the Republic of Kenya, I think Azimio will be on the moon. I think Raila himself will be on the moon. What if, again, it is discovered that he did not win the elections? William Samoei Ruto will have what we call total legitimacy and is going to silence Azimio, and even his popularity rating is likely to increase. What of the governors, ladies and gentlemen? What if, for example, Waiguru did not win the elections? What if Kimani Wamatagi or James Orego did not win the elections? What is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Because I'm seeing a scenario where we are likely to have a constitutional crisis. Kwa sababu, it is very clear that you can only lose the election, the position if you are elected, if the court declares that you did not win the elections. That one can happen. And if there is evidence that you do not win the elections, kuna mtu ameenda kwenye mahakama, like now somebody goes and say so and so not win elections, and it is proved that the man did not win the election, the MP did not win the election, the governor did not win the election, then the court is going to maybe nullify your position. But now there is time frame, kwa sababu kuna wakati ambapo ukisoma katiba vizuri sana utaona kwamba this time frame that kesi za uchaguzi zinafaa kuendeshwa. I don't think it's 1 year or 6 months, something like that. Within 1 year, all petitions should be concluded. So is it going to have any effect? Lakini sasa this is something that, by the way, that has caused serious panic in both UDA, that is Kenya Kwanza, and Azimio. Kwa sababu wengi, some people are not even sure whether they won the elections. Some of them cannot even tell how they won the elections. And again, a friend of mine who is in UDA, an MC, was telling me that kulingana mahali mambo yapo, some members, Azimio as a party or Kenya Kwanza as a coalition, would not mind some people losing their positions sasa, kutokana vile ambavyo wanaonekana kwamba wengi si waaminifu. Ikipatikana kwamba hakushida, labda mtu anaweza kuwa Azimio na wafurahi sana. For instance, those people who crossed over to William Samoei Ruto's party, kama wale tuseme kwa mfano like Jelango for instance, or Karori Omondi for instance, do you think Azimio would cry ati wamepoteza vitu vyao, hawakushinda uchaguzi? Wow, watafurahi. Azimio is going to be very happy because they are able MPs and senators in both parties. What of the situation that MC wakienda kwa MC, nafikiri hapa ndipo utapata mambo mengi sana, but this is something that can bring chaos in this country, political chaos. That is what I mean. If it is not handled with care, it can result to serious issues. It can result to serious political ramifications in this country, whereby gavana tuseme kwa mfano Kang'ata ako pale, watu wanamuona pale, kura zimeonyesha au uchaguzi umegundua kwamba hakushinda uchaguzi, then this person, people will not listen to him. Again, I can see now the credibility of IBC going to hell. It in fact is going to stink from high all the way to high heavens. Kwa sababu ikiwa sasa itagunduliwa ya kwamba wale watu ambao walikuwa wanatangazwa na IBC kwamba walishinda uchaguzi, where will be IBC? We don't even have a face before the world. And Kenya, that is why I think it is important for America to keep away, to stop poking its nose in Kenyan politics. Kwa sababu, remember the American ambassador wakati ambapo alikuwa anasema that 2022 general elections were the most democratic, they were the most reliable, they were the best. And it's not good, because if an audit firm comes out, and one thing I like about independent audit firms, because of their reputations, it becomes very hard for them to be infiltrated or to be manipulated. Like now, the Price Waterhouse Coopers, it is very hard for you, even if you are the president, to try and maybe change or interfere with the investigations or with the audit. Inakuwa vigumu sana. Because one thing I know about our auditors will tell you the things that they are. Look at our Auditor General. The Auditor General, you always tell the situation as it is without missing words, without caring, because they are very, very professional. Because if there are people who have remained royal and professional in this country, are the auditors and accountants. They tell you about figures don't add up. And this is what is going to happen. So I think it is important that the audit be carried out ndio watu waone matokeo yatakuwa vipi, na wale watu ambao wamekuwa wakitoa malalamishi utakuwa ni mwisho wa hizi kelele ambazo tumekuwa tukizisikia, ile minong'ono ya vyura, ile misonono ambao wanakoroma vyura, utakuwa ni mwisho. Because you see, hatuwezi tukawa kila wakati ati tunalalamika, tunasema uchaguzi ulifanya hivi, tunasema kwamba I won the election fairly and squarely, and so on and so forth. Because one thing I know very clearly is that when you listen to William Samoei Ruto's speech during the campaign, he had access to IBC servers. That is the truth of the matter. Remember, kuna wakati he told the world that some names have been deleted, others have been taken to different police stations. How he came to know this is a story that has baffled many Kenyans. But the only conclusion that we can make is that he had access to IBC servers. And I give an analysis on this, and I told Azimio to be very, very careful, because it was very clear that somebody was aiding William Samoei Ruto to get the information of what was happening in IBC and the servers in general. Because vile ambavyo alijua hivi, and it was proved to be true, by the way, because an audit firm proved that it was true. And it is also important to even audit the process of the elections, kwa sababu unapotazama utaona kwamba our election process is marred with a lot of questions. There are so many questions mark, from the tendering, from the employment of the commissioners, from the returning officers, kwa sababu utapata kwamba tunaona vizuri sana kwamba there are some regions ulipata kwamba it is people from the same tribe who are actually the returning officers, and that one would raise many questions if you ask me. What we are having is something that is very, very interesting. It's something that is going to raise political temperatures, because when you look at your MP, when you look at your senator, when you look at our president, one big question that I ask, that you should ask yourself, when you look at the situation on the ground, do you think he won the elections that time? I know so many things have changed, because in Mount Kenya, if elections were to be held today, even if there were to be a by-election, things would be very, very different, because Azimio would easily win the election, or any other party, but not UDA. UDA would find it rough. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, let us interact in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this, because it is a very, very interesting topic, and it is going to stir many people in different directions. It is something that was not expected, but it is important that it has come. Na unajua tunasema ya kwamba ng'ombe au buzi anapozaa mapacha lazima anyonyeshe wote. Wote ni wake. Nchi ni yetu, taifa ni letu. Sisi kile ambacho tungetaka ni kuona wananchi wakidumisha amani, umoja na utegamano, because this is our nation, and we should strive all the time to make our country better. Have a blessed Sunday. Bye-bye.